Hello and welcome again to Liwa. Maybe you've seen my event video from earlier this year, the event with the hill climb race. Here we will check all the cool vehicles, a little bit more detail, all the engines and what's in the chassis. It's Thursday and let's walk through the pits. Here we have an Paxton Nissan Patrol with convenient with a removable front end here when you are working on the car, so you get good access. Some Willwood small racing brakes there. Putting on the racing tires. Spark plug change. Looks like a big intercooler with an pocket there for ice, I believe, to get really cool air. Always these guys, RSG, are really big here with many cars here, so yeah, always nice to see them. And a little bit different look on them from year to year. Now it's a little bit more military camo style here, not the desert camo. It's one more TB48 with a lot of nitros here. Very small radiator, just to keep it cool. I guess it's methanol on this one too. Water pump mounted directly to the radiator. They have the snap-on tools. That's the same thing I have when I work on airplanes. Big blower on this one in the unlimited. Little special design on the zoomies here, angle, to be able to fit behind the front wheel and the door there. And these are actually proper Pro Mod engines. Doesn't have a starter motor, so you engage the starter there. We have the starter motor here. The mechanic starts the engine. You got a race pack there for logging. Fuel flow sensor there, for example. And tuning these is mechanical with different jets at different locations here. So it has some injection here before the blower with some fuel, and some here in the runners. You see these hoses here, those inject fuel into the runner. And the fuel mainly before the blower here, it's for cooling. Dry sump, of course, and a pretty big fuel tank here actually for being driving so short. Mechanical fuel pump here in the front and the big magneto distributor. Patrol, long wheelbase, but still two doors here with an LS twin turbo. Twin of these precision turbos. You can slightly see the carbon fiber body here. Interior here, some pressure air, plastic seat, Dominator EFI, steering axle here, a little bit modified to clear, some special brackets here and bearings, clear the exhaust manifold. Pressure sensor there on the wastegate as well. Clash performance here, and yeah, this car will be for tomorrow, I guess. Looks like a big blower. This is the NA TB48 6-cylinder.
6-cylinder nitro.
Yes. Very small fuel tank there. Aggressive looking here, not any fenders left there at all, most. And it is 16-volt battery here with a Motec M130. They have a lot of nitros, 2 bottles here. And an automatic gearbox without shifting knob there. And maybe you can see everything is in carbon fiber here. Very nice. Also an electric power steering pump here. It's good with power steering. With this power, and the sand here is not always flat, so yeah, you have to work behind the steering wheel. And most bigger garages, they have one car in each class. Clash here also with an LS twin turbo, water intercooler, a little bit larger fuel cell. It has a double injector configuration and high intake manifold. I'm not that good at LS engines. These transparent big lines is actually for the intercooler, it's for the water. And then you can see also if you have any air in the water. Here we have big Garrett Turbo. On this TB48. It still has to be the stock cast block on them. Water intercooler. Same actually hoses here, the transparent ones for the water. So it has a dry sump system here, but it looks a little bit strange that this pressure, the first one, is going to the valve cover. Is that correct? I don't know. Usually the first one is the pressure. Also the big air motive fuel pressure regulator. To charge the car, it's usually these external connections and the on-off switch there as well. And the turn signal is the correct ones, but the headlamps, they look really good, but it's just stickers. No toolbox here, but a lot of tools. And of course, not just one spare TB48, but two. I think this is a Champion garage with two of the Nissan Patrols. This one, turbo, big Garrett as well here. Looks really big, 98 maybe. Silver brakes, and here we have the exhaust tab connectors. Next to them, it's the mil-spec connectors for the ECU there. Very nice throttle wheel there on the Hypertune throttle body. Big intercooler, big cooler pipes, twin fuel rails, one big one, dash 12 looks like, and one 8. Here we have some Motec Golden boxes. This car actually won the 2019 year. And I think this one won 2019 or 18. Naturally aspirated with a very special intake manifold, intake plenum. You got one of these blow-offs, maybe good when putting in a lot of nitrous into the car. A lot of nitrous solenoids. You have some sensors to keep track on everything. Really big throttle bodies here. I think, yeah, over 100 millimeters. And a small radiator here. Dry sump. Even the bracket here for the dry sump is drilled, hole drilled to make it lightweight. Some installation notes there. And special steering rack here. This car is my friend Saad Al-Khamsi that is driving the unlimited category. This Pro Mod BAE engine. The electronic suite here, MSD, electronic ignition, some timers there for the fuel, race pack for logging, carbon fiber seat, and yeah, fire extinguisher, and some pressure air. Strange dampers. A lot of bracing here for the lightweight body. Nice to see a real steel firewall on this one. Someone with carbon fiber would be a little bit interesting if it would be fire. I think it's time to start it up. As you can see, big build-up block here. No magneto, just a sensor. two more cars here for the NA category. And it's actually not NA because it's nitrous, but it's without turbo or compressor. Bigger motive fuel pump there, and it smells race fuel here. Here we have another one, similar setup, and it looks like everybody's running these TB48s in this category. Carbon fiber on this one as well. Some is a little bit shiny, some is not, but actually it doesn't care that much. It's the lightweight you want. Big intake manifold, SMS. I think these are maybe from Qatar, the ones that makes this intake manifold. Purge valve with a little snake there. Some nice paint here on the door, airbrushing. LS engine, everything very black. Even the compressor wheels is maybe painted black. M-tron says on this one, so yeah, probably the M-tron ECU. Getting dark here, and yeah, race should have been started now, but still not. Rival garage in the turbo category. About to put some fuel in, some methanol. Carbon fiber body on this one as well. Body-worn turbos. Here we can see a dash, not much more. Looks like a controller for water meth injection. Some here want to be a little bit secret, which I think is a little bit sad. It's fun to see the engines. We have the front end, and very big intake here for the turbo. So yeah, looking interesting. Sub-Zero from Dubai is always here. Here we have the Sub-Zero car with the body actually made a little bit more aerodynamic. See the front fenders, and it looks like it's more slim in the back one as well. TB48, typical NA exhaust manifold, a lot of nitrous, and kind of hyper-tune intake. Still working on the cars here, and it's Mohammed bin Jabri driving this car. Father is here, owner of Sub-Zero, and smaller brother in the other one.
Four stages of nitrous.
4 stages?
Yeah,
okay.
but they're telling only 2 on.
Race is starting almost now, and they're still working full on the car. Hopefully they can get it all ready. Here we have a pickup from Oman. Really lightweight, everything removed. LS in this one, maybe the Swedish Max ECU. Yes, it is. Max ECU race in there. LS twin turbo, nice angle here on the turbos. And the wheelbase is looking a little bit strange from the cabin in front. Very long. Fuel tank there, got the intercooler, body-worn turbos, some old stuff and some new stuff. I like these kinds of builds. It's not always the nicest welds, but if it's going good up the hill, will be all fine for me. Interesting here also that the wastegate is dumping almost right straight on the oil return from the turbo. Another one here with the HPS Sub-Zero, I think. Al-Talbani. Also this one, a little bit more aerodynamic front fenders. 6 pipes, not a merge collector on this one, just 6, like a Zoomies, like almost like a top fuel car. Full RPM. Patrol with an LS here. fuel tank cap there with a filter, twin precision turbos, and it has an charge cooler intake there. Only EFI intake with a cooling plate. Turbo placement is almost the same on all of these LS cars. Dry sump tank in the back here, and breather tank looks like this one. Welcome night to garage. Driver is ready. We have a fuel filter ventilation on the cap there as well. Nice wrinkle finish here on the intake manifold. Carbon fiber nitrous solenoid there. Some extra nitrous for spooling maybe, or some extra power. Taillights is also a sticker, just a fake one, lightweight. If you have questions, I did an FAQ about these races, so check out that video. Oh, also a billet intake manifold here, looking very thin, not that big compared to many others. Here we have actually a famous driver, Khalid Al-Balushi. It's, some dry ice.
Liwa, Allah عليك يا جروب داش شوف تأكد.
Crankcase ventilation going straight down. Cooling down the intercooler here. Nice little cap there when it's finished. Special one with a big turbo with a trumpet there to the turbo as well. Special intercooler there. Never seen that one before. It's aerodynamic shaped. One common thing is that windshield is kind of oily after one pass. I don't know if it's leaking, spitting. We have a non-turbo car here about an hour before the race starts. They are working on the transfer gearbox. The transfer gearbox is removed here. You can see it's some special billet one. And we have an LS engine in this one. Some nitrous. Big, nice Wilson throttle body there. Some nice machining on that one as well. I guess they had a lot of pressure in the cooling system at some point. You can see a little bit ballooning there on the radiator. But if it's still holding, that's nice. Here's a V8 without turbo. Got some nitrous plates here. Some nice King damper stars. And it's interesting to see that the location, they put these dampers at a little bit different places compared to stock. And the different cars have different angles and positions. RSG's Pro Mod car, let's say, the open class car with the Pro Mod engine. Some King shocks there as well. Also ahead of the normal location. Some real zoomies here. It's a little bit longer distance between the front wheel and the door there. This guy here checking the weather for the tuning. No magneto here, just an sensor there with also an LED. A lot of solenoids here to staging the fuel in different stages with the timers. Looks like they have some American help here as well. Bright battery and the normal electronic timers there for the fuel. One of the turbo cars, and here you can see that it's still the stock cast block there. There is now billet blocks for these engines, but it's not allowed in this competition to have the billet blocks. Also here you can see the fuel pump is mounted in the back of the dry sump pump. That's a smart solution. Two more cars from the RSG that is in the non-turbo, non-blower class here. So only nitrous allowed. Naturally aspirated plus the nitrous. Very neat installation. almost fits under the hood here, except the air filter is popping up. Siemens injectors in the runner there, and some nitrous. And vibrant catch can there for the oil. And also a little small fuel pump there, mechanical. And Motec Middle East, they are running the Motec in all of these electronic fuel injection cars. You can see here it's an Motec M150 with expander there as well. Nice suspension parts going into these cars. Not the original location, far from. And this rear, what do you say, door hatch trunk that is see-through, I think very lightweight. It would be nice to put that on a Volvo 245. Champion team here with their V8s without turbo. Nice exhausts going up here on this one, a little bit different from many others. The nitrous also goes into the runner from the underside. Yeah, and here we can see the shocks in the almost original location there, with some remote reservoirs there to make a little bit longer travel there. Sonic Garage with a colorful livery. Sonic the Hedgehog maybe was a video game many years ago. I don't know if it exists anymore. I'm not into video games anymore. When I found cars, I stopped that. One thing you can see on this one is that this is not a new build. You can see some oxidation, and yeah, it's nothing wrong about that. But many cars you can see that everything is brand new build. But if everything holds and yeah, you check the condition, you can use it for next year's event or maybe other events. It's other events in this country as well. Some normal relays there. I've seen in PDM boxes as many cars, but normal relays just fine. And we have the gold Motec box. They also have an hydraulic handbrake that is seen maybe in drifting cars and rally cars, but I think it's maybe to use on the launch. So you put tension in the driveline, and also you don't roll back. You can see sometimes cars is rolling back on the launch. Big thanks Sonic Garage. They have a small little Motec display there, and the Motec keypad, but they're using the M-Tron ECU. It's a very good ECU, I guess as well, not worked with that one. And the Motec. And this one is actually competing in the open category with Pro Mod cars, against the Pro Mod cars, I would say. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. A little bit underpowered maybe, but yeah, everything can happen, and not all the guys comes to the finish line here. Today, Friday, is the day of the high-loft category. I don't know how many during COVID now, how many of these will be here, because I think most of the drivers here in this category is from Saudi Arabia. Usually these do not have these big tires. One turbo there, maybe it's an V8, I would guess. Yes, we have an LS engine here with twin turbos. Just lurking there above the headlight. Next to this one, another LS here. Big tires, nice with a white tire wall there. Classic. An interesting way to jack the car. Air compressor going to a truck bag there. We have another car in the unlimited category with the turbos here, not just Pro Mod. big electric fuel pump. Seems to be the way they build these ones now. Before I've seen many other engines, now it's LS twin turbo. Maybe it's the best ones. The chassis and body of these ones do not look like the petrols. Maybe it's a Jeep. You got McPherson struts from the beginning. A lot of nitrous and a big air filter. So some cars have air filters here actually. That's one of the most common comments on my videos. Here we have an yeah, looks almost identical. Big blower and metallic injector there, some condensation. Jeep from Oman. Got an LS, no turbo. But you can see you got the nitrous. Special welding there. I don't know if it has been cracked, the intake manifold or firewall. Have some ventilation. Not nice if it would be fire, but you got some ventilation out here as well, some holes. So yeah, I like the variation of cars, that it is yeah, some very, very expensive and some a little bit more budget or whatever you say. Everybody can be fast. Also the long time tuner here at Sub-Zero is Kami. I think he's the only other guy here at the whole place that speaks Swedish. And he's checking something here in the Max ECU actually, so it's the Swedish ECU in this. More of the Hiluxes and the pedal tires. Fuel cell in the back there and a new fuel pressure regulator. Swedish parts on this one. Also got the Holly dash there. And roll cage in this one. I think all of them need to have a roll cage now. Suspension wise, these are not as modified as many of the other. And yeah, some of these cars, they are not just here for the competition. They drive them on the hills and yeah, have a good time here, play around in the sand.